My dear child, I need you to listen closely, for what I am about to say is of great importance. This situation is not to be taken lightly, and I do not want you to face it unprepared. Many of my faithful servants have been living in peace, believing that the trials of the world would pass them by. They thought the storms would remain at a distance, that the shaking would happen elsewhere, that the hour of testing would fall upon others and not upon them. But I tell you now, the hour has drawn nearer than many expect, and the events that will unfold will touch the lives of even those who believed they were insulated. I am not speaking these things to frighten you, but to prepare you, to anchor you, to awaken you, so that when the time comes, you will not be among those who panic or faint under pressure. You will stand because those who stand upon my word are unshakable. There is a shifting taking place beneath the surface of everything you see. Nations are restless. Creation itself groans, and the hearts of men are being exposed at a speed that will astonish those who never discern the times. My child, I want you to understand something clearly. Whenever transitions occur in the spiritual realm, the natural realm reacts. And this world is reacting now. What you see as chaos is not random. It is the pressure of the unseen pressing into the visible. But while many fear the shaking, I tell you that the shaking is necessary, because without shaking, the things that are unstable would continue standing falsely, and the things that are of me would remain hidden under layers of comfort and complacency. My servants have grown overly dependent on ease. They have allowed comfort to silence discernment. They have learned to ignore my gentle nudges and warnings because they assumed the season of warnings would last forever. But the clock has moved forward, even in moments when no one was paying attention. And now, my child, I must speak firmly, for what comes next requires more than casual faith. It requires faith that is awake, faith that is rooted, faith that hears me above the noise of the world. You must be careful in this hour with the voices you lend your ear to. Many people speak in my name but do not carry my spirit. Many declare peace when there is no peace, and many cry danger where I have not spoken. But I am the voice you must anchor yourself to. Do not be swayed by the multitude. Be guided by the whisper that comes from my throne. You know my voice. You have heard me before, and I will not let you be misled if you remain close to me. There is something you must know. Great changes are coming, and these changes will affect relationships, households, regions, and even entire nations. Nothing will remain untouched in the season that approaches. And yet, even in the midst of all that is coming, I am not withdrawing my hand from my people. I am not leaving the faithful to fend for themselves. I am equipping those who truly walk with me to discern, to understand, and to navigate the turbulence with clarity and courage. But this equipping requires obedience. Obedience even when you do not fully understand what I am asking of you. My child, many of my people have been praying for protection, but they have not been preparing for instruction. Protection without instruction leads to confusion. You cannot just ask to be sheltered. You must also be willing to move when I say move, speak when I say speak, wait when I say wait, and hold back when I say silence. The next season requires sensitivity because the enemy is becoming bold, not because he has more power, but because the hearts of men are drifting further from truth. Pay attention now. The trials coming into the lives of many will not appear at first as spiritual attacks. They will come disguised as ordinary conflict, strained relationships, misunderstandings, unexpected disruptions, sudden challenges in areas that once felt stable. The enemy hopes that my people will treat these things casually, not recognizing that hidden beneath them are deeper workings meant to discourage, distract, and divide. But I tell you these things ahead of time so that you do not fall into the trap of reacting in the flesh. You must respond in the Spirit. You must remember the lessons from Scripture not as stories of the past, but as blueprints for the present. When Joseph went through betrayal, imprisonment, and misunderstanding, it was not random. It was preparation for the moment where his endurance would save multitudes. When Elijah stood on Mount Carmel and then fled to the wilderness moments later, it was not weakness. It was a reminder that even the strongest feel pressure, but I sustain them when they come to me. When Daniel was thrown into the lion's den, it was not the end. It was the moment I used to show that no earthly decree can override my protection. When the disciples faced storms on the sea, the storm was not the issue. The issue was their perception of my authority in the midst of it. And now I tell you, the storms my people will face in this season are not signs of abandonment. They are platforms where my glory will be revealed. But those who panic will miss the revelation. Those who remain steady will witness my power in ways they have never seen before. My dear child, I must speak now about something very sensitive but very crucial. There is someone close to your heart who is standing at the edge of a decision that will affect more than they realize. This person has been walking with uncertainty, battling internal struggles, and facing pressures that they have not spoken openly about. The enemy has been trying to confuse their mind, to cloud their judgment, to steer them into choices that would bring unnecessary pain, not only to them but to those connected to them. But I am stepping in. I am interrupting the plans of darkness concerning this person, and I am calling you to stand in the gap for them, not in anxiety, but in authority. Within the next hours, not days, there will be a shift in their heart and in their circumstances. You must be sensitive, because what unfolds will not only be a turning point for them, but a revelation for you. You will see my hand move in a way that removes doubt, silences fear, and proves that I am watching over every detail of your life. But hear me clearly, when this shift happens, do not react emotionally. React spiritually. Do not rush to speak. Do not rush to take action. Wait for my instruction, because the unfolding of this situation is delicate. One wrong reaction could escalate what I intend to resolve. One premature word could interfere with what I am aligning. Be slow to speak and quick to listen, for I will guide you through it step by step. Now, my child, I need you to be watchful. There will be unusual signs around you in the coming days, not mystical things, but situations that will draw your attention because of their timing. Conversations that happen at the exact moment you were thinking of something. Messages that arrive precisely when you needed confirmation. Encounters that seem random but are intentional. I am orchestrating these things to strengthen your awareness that I am actively guiding your steps. Do not dismiss these signs as coincidence. They are part of the instruction I am giving you for what is ahead. You must also be cautious with people who carry subtle envy or hidden motives. Not everyone who smiles at you carries goodwill. Not everyone who expresses concern has purity of heart. This does not mean you should fear people, but you must watch their fruit. Watch their reactions when you succeed. Watch their behavior when my hand lifts you higher. Watch their tone when you share testimonies. Some who claim to support you are uncomfortable with the favor upon your life. Keep your spirit open, but your heart guarded. My child, the spiritual realm is active in ways most do not perceive. Angels are already positioned. Assignments have already been distributed. Protection has already been released, but with protection comes responsibility. Do not step outside the boundaries I set. Do not ignore the warnings I place in your spirit. When you feel the nudge to wait, wait. When you feel the urge to withdraw from certain people or situations, obey. When you feel the pull to pray, do not delay. Prayer in this season will unlock doors that effort alone cannot. Many are about to witness breakthroughs, but breakthroughs often appear in the form of disruption before they manifest in beauty. If you see things shaking, do not assume you are under attack. Sometimes the shaking is my hand repositioning you. Now listen closely, for this is very important. There will be moments in the coming days where you will feel an unusual stillness, a pause in your spirit, as if everything around you quiets for a moment. When this happens, do not ignore it. That stillness is me pulling you aside. In those moments, speak to me, for I will reveal instructions that cannot be given in the noise of routine. I will show you things about people, about opportunities, about decisions, about timing, and these instructions will protect you from missteps that could cost you later. My child, you must understand that the enemy is not attacking you because you are weak. He is attacking because you are stepping into a season of influence, clarity, expansion, and spiritual authority. He sees what is coming even before you do. He senses the movement in the spiritual atmosphere around your life, and he is attempting to interfere. But his attempts will fail because you will not walk blindly. You will walk with my discernment. Prepare yourself emotionally, mentally, and spiritually, for the next weeks will bring both testing and blessing. They will bring pressure and release. There will be moments where you feel stretched, and moments where you feel carried by grace. Do not misinterpret the stretching. It is strengthening you for the elevation that follows. You cannot rise while remaining the same. I am shaping you, refining you, and reinforcing areas that were once fragile. My dear child, I speak these things because I love you, because I care for you, because I have invested too much into your life to let you be caught unaware. Hear me clearly. Nothing coming your way is meant to destroy you. It is meant to reveal what I placed inside you long ago. You will not fall. You will not break. You will not be overtaken. You will stand, and through your standing, others will find strength. My child, now listen as I take you deeper, for the message I began to speak must be anchored not only in revelation, but in remembrance of what I have already done. Everything I am preparing you for has been written in shadows through generations past. Nothing I do in your life stands alone. Everything reflects a pattern, a rhythm, a blueprint I have already set in motion long before you were born. For I am the same yesterday, today, and forever, and my dealings with my servants in ancient times mirror the dealings I am having with you now. What is unfolding in your life, what is about to be revealed, what is about to shake the foundations of your world, is not a strange thing. It is the continuation of the same story I have been writing through every faithful one who walked before you. Consider my servant Noah. For 120 years he heard me speak of something no eye had seen and no mind had imagined. The world around him mocked, laughed, ignored, and dismissed what I warned him about. Just like many today, they assumed peace would continue forever, that life would remain predictable, that my words were merely distant echoes without urgency. But Noah listened. He did not depend on signs. He depended on my voice. And when the hour came, when the sky darkened and the first drop fell, Noah was not caught unprepared. He had already built the ark in a world that saw no need for one. And my child, just like Noah, I am making you build internally, spiritually, emotionally, relationally, in a way that others may not understand right now. They may not see why I am calling you to pray with intensity, why I am urging you to pay attention, why I am placing specific people on your heart, and why I am warning you about the hidden intentions of others. But the day will come when the wisdom of your obedience will be undeniable. Think of Abraham, a man who walked with me even when he did not know where I was leading him. The land I promised him was not visible at the beginning. It unfolded with each step. And I tell you now, some of the instructions I give you will unfold the same way. You will not see the full picture immediately. You will not know why I ask you to wait at certain moments, why I urge you to step back at others, or why I speak caution over specific relationships or decisions. But like Abraham, you must walk even when the path seems unclear, because every step of obedience is a doorway into destiny. Every move you make under my guidance leads you into something that is bigger than you imagine now. Consider Joseph, thrown into a pit by his own brothers, betrayed by those closest to his heart. Yet every betrayal, every loss, every disappointment was positioning him for the moment when he would become the instrument of salvation for nations. My child, do you see now why I spoke to you earlier about someone close to your heart? Joseph's story was not shaped by strangers. It was shaped by those connected to him. And in your life too, the enemy often targets relationships because he knows the impact they have on your calling. But just as I intervened for Joseph, I am intervening for you. What seems like chaos will turn into clarity. What feels like confusion will turn into alignment. What appears to be emotional unrest will become the very place where my hand is revealed. Look at Moses. He was raised in a palace, trained among rulers, prepared in ways he didn't even realize. Then he fled to the wilderness, thinking he had lost everything. But that wilderness was not punishment, it was preparation. 40 years I kept him there, shaping his character, sharpening his senses, breaking his self-dependence, until he could finally hear me clearly. And then, at the right moment, I called him from the burning bush. My child, there are seasons of your life that felt like wilderness, seasons that felt like nothing was progressing, seasons where you wondered if you took a wrong turn. But nothing was wasted. The quiet years, the hidden struggles, the isolated valleys, these were places where I strengthened your inner man. Now, just like Moses, you are standing near a burning bush moment where I am about to reveal myself in a new way, giving you instructions that will not only affect your life but also the lives of many attached to you. Think also of Gideon. He did not see himself the way I saw him. He called himself weak and insignificant, and yet I called him mighty. And my child, many times you have doubted your worth, underestimated your strength, questioned your spiritual sensitivity, and assumed you are not ready for what I am leading you into. But you do not see what I see. Just as I saw the warrior inside Gideon before he ever fought a battle, I see the authority inside you before you ever speak a word. You are stronger than you think, more discerning than you realize, and more spiritually capable than you have admitted. As with Gideon, I will confirm my calling upon you in ways that silence every doubt. Look at David, the shepherd boy anointed while still unseen by the world. He faced lions and bears when no one was watching, victories that prepared him for Goliath. My child, many of the private battles you have fought, battles of discouragement, emotional weight, spiritual warfare, inner turmoil, have been training grounds. They have not been in vain. Every tear, every wrestle, every silent prayer has built you into someone who can stand when others crumble. David did not step onto the battlefield with fear. He stepped with memory, the memory of every trial he had already overcome through my strength. And you too will face the challenges ahead not with trembling but with the quiet confidence that comes from knowing I have been with you in every unseen battle. Reflect also on Elijah. After a great victory, he found himself weary, overwhelmed, and afraid. He thought he was alone, but I reminded him that he was never alone. Even in his exhaustion, I fed him, strengthened him, and spoke to him, not through the wind, not through the earthquake, not through the fire, but through a gentle whisper. My child, there have been times when you felt overwhelmed, when you wondered if you could handle the pressure, when you feared you were failing me. Yet I was there in every moment, not shouting, not shaking, but whispering. And even now, as I speak these words, my whisper is reaching the deepest part of you, telling you that you are not alone and you will not walk into the next season without my support. Think of Daniel, surrounded by a world that did not fear me, pressured by rulers, targeted by enemies, thrown into the lion's den as a result of his integrity. Yet Daniel remained steady. He prayed when others hid. He stood firm when others bowed, and I shut the mouths of the lions. My child, the accusations, misunderstandings, and pressures you have faced have not gone unnoticed. There were moments where people misread your intentions, moments where the enemy attempted to trap you, moments where spiritual opposition arose simply because you refused to compromise. But like Daniel, your consistency has reached my throne. And I tell you now, I am shutting the mouths of those lions. Those who rose against you will witness my protection. Those who doubted you will see my hand vindicate you. You will emerge from situations that were designed to destroy you without scars, without shame, without loss. Now consider Esther. She was placed in a palace not for luxury, but for destiny. Everything about her life, from her upbringing to her placement in the kingdom, was orchestrated for a moment of divine intervention. My child, the places I have placed you, the connections you have made, the opportunities that have opened, and even the situations that seemed accidental were not random. They were alignments. You have been strategically positioned for conversations you have not yet had, for influence you have not yet used, for open doors you have not yet walked through. And just like Esther, you will find yourself at moments where you must speak, moments where you must stand, moments where your voice will carry weight, not because you planned it, but because I placed you there for such a time as this. Reflect on Job. He endured suffering that felt unbearable, confusion that felt overwhelming, silence that felt endless. But my eyes were always on him, and every blow the enemy attempted against him turned into a setup for restoration. My child, the emotional storms you have weathered, the disappointments you have faced, the losses you endured, none of these things were the final chapter. Like Job, you will see restoration in ways that exceed what you imagined. I will rebuild areas you thought were permanently broken. I will revive dreams you believed had died. I will return joy where sorrow took root. And just like Job, your testimony after this season will carry a depth that can only come from someone who survived a storm and found me faithful. Think also of the disciples in the upper room, fearful, uncertain, unsure of what was ahead. But in that place of quiet waiting, my spirit came upon them, and everything changed. Weakness became boldness. Confusion became clarity. Fear became courage. My child, there will be moments where I pull you into stillness, not because you are failing, but because I am preparing to pour something into you that you cannot receive in noise. There are impartations, revelations, and spiritual strength coming to you that will lift you into a different dimension of awareness and authority. And now, my child, look at Jesus himself. Every step he took was a demonstration of how I move through those who trust me. He walked through storms without fear. He spoke peace into chaos. He touched the broken. He healed the sick. He confronted evil. He comforted the weary. And he showed you that walking with me does not mean avoiding storms. It means carrying authority in the midst of them. The same Spirit that raised him from the dead is moving in you, preparing you, strengthening you, and guiding you through this season. Every biblical account I have brought before you is not just a reminder, it is a mirror. When you read their stories, you are reading the pattern I am unfolding in your life. You are seeing the steps I am leading you through. You are witnessing the same faithfulness I am about to reveal on your behalf. You are standing at the threshold of a moment that resembles Noah's preparation, Abraham's obedience, Joseph's vindication, Moses' calling, Gideon's awakening, David's strengthening, Elijah's refreshing, Daniel's protection, Esther's positioning, Job's restoration, and the disciples' empowerment. All of these patterns are converging in your life. This is why the battles have intensified. This is why the spiritual weight has increased. This is why the urgency in my voice has grown. You are entering a season where everything I have prepared in you will begin to manifest. Do not be afraid of what is coming. Do not fear the shifts. Do not fear the shaking. For everything I have shown you in the Scriptures was written as a testimony of my consistency. I am the God who reveals warnings before storms, who rescues before defeat, who strengthens before battles, who positions before breakthroughs, who restores after losses, and who speaks before confusion settles in the heart. My child, everything I have done before I am doing again, in you, for you, and through you. Stay near me, stay anchored, stay alert. For the days ahead will not destroy you, they will reveal you. And when you look back, you will understand why I spoke these words to you now.